Tonight on Game Night, Nikki, Lincoln, Rusty, and myself, Dave, are going to play the Dresden Files, a cooperative card game for 1 to 5 players. I suppose the one-player game is very cooperative. Designed by Eric B. Vogel and published by Evil Hat Productions. So let's fight some evil.
Hey, Billy and Georgia.
Yes, Harry?
Would you teach us the Dresden Files cooperative card game?
I shouldn't have to teach you, Harry Dresden, your own game.
I think Harry needs a lot of help.
But I will. The Dresden Files cooperative card game is, as the name implies, a co-op. We are trying to solve cases and attack and defeat foes. We are trying to take advantage of advantages, and we are trying to overcome obstacles. I know this array does not look like it, but we did actually shuffle these cards, and they just happen to come out like this. The bottom row looks at least somewhat shuffled, but I don't know why all 4 foes are here and all that stuff's up there. It's not going to matter. We're playing Book 1, Stormfront, not just because it's the first book in the series, and therefore we're playing them sort of in order, but also it's the least spoilery as far as the books go, in case people have not read all the books in the series. I am not entirely sure how much plot is given away in the game, but each book, I assume, is based on that book's plot. So we all have a character, and we all have some cards for that character, and we all each have a talent that that character has, and a stunt that that character can do once and only once in the game. Your stunt is a one-time thing. The talent is a thing that you do when you discard. And that's good because everything in this game costs fate. The way you calibrate the game for level of difficulty, there are 13 fate tokens, and in an easy game, you have all 13. We're not going to do that. We're going to play the standard game, where 5 of them start over here, and in the expert game, you move 4 more over there. We're not going to do that. The fate tokens work in a kind of a cool way, like Hanabi, and I'll explain by using the character we didn't pick, Susan Rodriguez. Here are some of the cards that we all have some form of these cards in our deck. These red cards are attack cards. These green cards are investigate these cases to try to solve them. These yellow cards are the cards we use to overcome these obstacles, and we each have advantage cards that potentially allow us to take advantage of the advantages. The cost of using this card is that blue circle, it's fate. Okay. So this costs 5 fate to use. And when you use it, you spend 5 fate over here into the earn column. If I were to discard this card and not use it, we gain fine fate. Yeah. And those move over there. Additionally, because I discarded, I can use my talent. Every time you discard a card, you get to use your talent. Let's not get into the specifics and what each of ours are. We'll read those a little later. Sometimes, in addition to the number, like on this card, there's a number in a white square. That means roll 1 of the dice. The dice are 2 pluses, 2 minuses, and 2 blanks. So this card costs 3 fate. 3 fate.
Okay.
So it's blank. But if I rolled the plus, it would cost 4. And if I'd rolled the minus, it would only cost 2. All right? So there's a bit of a gamble, potentially, depending on how many fate you have here. So that's how fate works. It is the cost of using your card, which you spend, or it's what you gain when you discard. Similarly, if you were to discard this, you would roll the die. And you would either gain 3
or 4
or 2, depending on what you roll. If you want to use the card, let's just say, because I've got this attack card, let's say we use that card. Or let's say we use this card. And we spend 2 fate. Those would move over to here. And this puts 2 hits on any foe within a range of 1. That's what this thing is. Here's the range, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These are furthest away from us. These are closest to us. So in this case, the holy water that Susan is using would put 2 hits on a foe within a range of 1. There's only 1 foe within a range of 1. That would be, oh my goodness, how do we pronounce that? The toad demon's name.
Kalshazak.
Right.
Kalshazak.
Okay, so normally you would just take 2 hits from here, and you'd put them on the card, and when the number of hits equaled or exceeded the number on this, we would kill that person. But let's read Kaljak, Zaljak, the Toad Demon. Cannot receive hits until the Who is the Shadow Man case is solved. Here's the Who is the Shadow Man case, the furthest away from us right now. So until we solve this, we cannot attack this character.
Wow.
All right?
Nice shuffling, dude.
Again, that's a range of 1. This has 2 hits within a range of 3, for example. And there are obviously ways we can manipulate that I'll get to in a second. Here's how you solve that. You use one of your investigates. This costs 5 fate, and it adds 5 clues on any case within a range of 1. So again, clues are these, and they act no different than these little hit point tokens. You just add, say, 5, and you put them there, and when the number of clues equals or exceeds the number on the card, then the case is solved. When a case is solved, it moves up here. This is going to determine at the very end whether we're going to win or lose this game. And some cases, when solved, have stuff on them. For example, when, as I said, when we solve the Who is the Shadow Man case, we can now add hits here. When solved, add 3 clues to Who is the Shadow Man. So that's another way to put clues here. This says, when solved, the active player must discard an attack card. So that's a bad thing, but we get to solve that. The iconography, I believe, shows you this little bee with an arrow pointing to it means that somewhere there's a card with a bee pointing out, which is here. This card affects this card. That's just iconography to let you know. And this C that adds 3 clues to the Shadow Man, see, that shows this can be affected by another card. So that's just how that iconography works.
Neat.
So that's how you attack, and that's how you investigate. Overcome. Overcome just happens when you play it. That costs a fate and is a range of 1, and that costs 4 and has an up to a range of 3. And this says at the bottom, see, overcome 1 obstacle. These are 2 obstacles. This says overcome an obstacle and collect fate points, 2 with a number, a 1 die, so you roll. So sometimes you have additional stuff at the bottom of the card in addition to the regular thing that it does. We're all going to have different sets, and our cards are going to have different stuff on it. But these obstacles are obstacles for all of us, and they are always in effect until they are overcome by somebody. This one says all attacks cost an extra fate. So that is in play for the whole game until we overcome that obstacle. Again, until this obstacle is overcome, any blank is a minus on all die cards. Okay? That's most...
Die rolls, you mean?
On all die rolls.
Okay.
Any blank also counts as a minus. Now, that's mostly bad, but it's really great in this case because this costs 3 fate plus a die roll, and I have a 4 out of 6 chance to roll a minus now and make that only 2 fate until this is gone. So that's what the obstacles are. And as you might suspect, advantages work the same way. Advantage allows you to take advantage, as it says. And again, there's the cost, there's the range. Take an advantage. There are 2 advantages in the game. Once one of us takes one of them, they're gone. So we won't all be able to necessarily get the advantages.
Oh, there's Beer at Max right there.
Yep, Beer at Max. When taken, the active player draws a card and then distributes 2 draws among other players. That's important because in a 4-player game, we're going to start with 5 cards from our deck, and that's the entirety of the cards we have for the whole game.
Wow.
You never draw cards. You never replenish your hand. So this is one of the ways you draw cards. We might have cards in our deck that have additional draw card effects. I don't know. I have not looked through any of the decks. This advantage is when taken. The active player draws a card and then immediately takes another turn. And you can move Kazgazga to the furthest range.
Huh.
You probably may have guessed this, but when a card is taken from the array, when we solve a case or defeat a foe or overcome an obstacle or take an advantage, everything slides closer to fill that hole. All right? So on your turn, here's what you can do. You can discard a card to gain more fate. You can spend fate to play a card. You can use your stunt. Again, we each have 1 stunt with a 1-time use on it. Or you can pass. Passing costs a fate. So if there's no fate available, you are not allowed to pass. You are also not allowed to stall, essentially. You're not allowed to play a card that isn't legal. So
No punting.
if you have a card that defeats a case at range 2, you can't go, well, I'm going to play this, but it doesn't matter. You don't have to say when you're playing a card which specific thing you are attacking or solving or whatever. So if I were to play an attack card, I would play this card, I would spend 2 fate, 3 minus 1 because of this effect. So I'd spend 2 fate, and now I could do 2 hits at a range of 3. You can't split those up. That's 2 hits on one specific card. But it doesn't matter. I didn't have to say I was trying to do this.
Okay.
You get to do the thing first. All right?
And then decide?
And then decide.
Based on how much of a hit points you have and your range total.
Correct.
You could do within 3 or
Correct.
something.
In this particular case, it didn't make any difference because I can't attack this until we solve this case, and this is the only foe at range 3. But if this said range 4, I could decide between these two. And because it's a co-op, you guys could help me make that decision.
Right.
A note about that, I'll just insert this here. The rules basically say that it's your game and you can ultimately do what you want, but they suggest that you're not allowed to show other players your hand, and you don't say specific things about your hand like, I have 2 attack cards, or hey, I need at least 4 fate to do the thing I want to do. They suggest that you speak sort of more vaguely or generally about that, like, hey, I have a couple attack cards, or it'd be good if we could get some more fate for me, things like that.
Okay.
Interestingly enough, they don't suggest that in sort of a role play, under the umbrella of role playing. They actually suggest it as a way of keeping the game from moving forward, or moving the game forward. Sorry,
Okay.
Right. The less specific you are, in theory, the less figuring out maybe needs to happen.
Huh.
But I just kind of like that idea anyway. But obviously, you can do whatever you want. All right. So the goal of the game is to try to defeat as many foes as we can and solve as many cases as we can before we are forced to go to the showdown. We get to the showdown in one of 3 ways. The first is if you play a card with variable fate on it, like say this one, and you roll, let's say I rolled a plus, so this would need 4 fate, and there weren't 4 fate here. There might have been 3, and I might have been taking a chance that maybe that would work for us. But if it didn't, that takes us immediately to the showdown. All right? The second way is sort of similar, which is if you have no cards in your hand, and you can't pass because there isn't a fate token to pass.
So when you pass, you dump 1, is that the deal?
Every time you pass, it costs you 1. And then the third way you get to the showdown is if we all decide, hey, let's go to the showdown.
Okay.
The game actually, the rules actually suggest that's a very common way to get there. Because, let me explain now what the showdown is. Once we get to the showdown, we then are allowed to try to solve cases and further attack any foes that already have some clues on them or some hits on them. So if we get to the showdown and a foe has no hits on them, we can't do anything about that card. I don't think we have it in this book, but there might be some cases or foes that when solved or killed add clues. Actually, here's a good one. No, that's remove 2 clues. But add clues or add hits to cards that don't have any. If that were the case, we could then deal with that card as well. So the timing of that can be important depending on how you want to deal with the showdown. But what we'll do is, let's say we solved these 2, and let's say we killed, and let's say these 2 had hits on them, and these 2 had clues. We would just pick a card. As a group, we would decide where we want to start, and we go, let's go here. And then we would spend fate tokens. So 0 fate allows us to add 0 clues plus, does that say 5 or 6?
6.
Plus 6 die rolls. Maybe we'll get lucky. 4 fates at the end adds us to add 3 clues.
And 6 die rolls.
Plus or minus the result of 6 die rolls. Yes. So it's much worse than this. But we would do that for this, and then we would do that, say, for this guy, and then we would do that for this if we had fate left. You have to have it left, so...
Well, if you've run out, you certainly won't have it left.
Correct. But the reason you might decide to go to the showdown is there might not be a way for us to solve, say, this case, or to hit this guy anymore with our cards. And so what we would do is we would discard and discard and discard until we basically got, in theory, all 13 over here.
Right.
Then we go, let's go to the showdown. All right? You can never have more than 13 of these, no matter if you're discarding a card to add 3 fate, then you're just adding 1.
Yep.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Let's talk about our special powers and abilities. Not surprisingly enough, Harry has one of the stronger ones. His talent is, and you go ahead and read it.
When you discard for FP?
Fate points.
Okay.
Or fate
You may
tokens.
move one obstacle or advantage card forward or backward 1 space in either row.
Right. So when you discard, in addition to us getting fate,
We can rejigger the rows.
you can take a card, right, and move it. Is it 1 space, it says?
It says move forward or backward 1 space in either row.
So you could take this guy and move him forward.
Right.
And when you did that, the hole that you left would be rejiggered, so this would move backward.
Right.
Okay? So that's how we get stuff closer to us, or move stuff that's bad away from us if we want to. And your one-time stunt?
As my blasting rod, as your turn, flip this card over and add 4 hits to any one foe that will be defeated by 1 to 4 hits. So it's obviously, it ends it. If you can't end it, then you can't use it for that.
Correct. And you can only use that once
One
during
time.
the game.
Yeah.
So you will likely have some of the better cards as well in your deck, but the strategy suggestion on the last page of the rules is that for the first couple of turns, you just
Hold off.
you discard cards because you're getting us fate tokens that we can use also manipulates the board.
Right. But I don't draw more cards, so
Correct.
unless we come up with something.
All right.
So your talent is different.
I am Michael Carpenter, the Holy Knight of the Cross.
Right.
My talent is unready. I am, when I discard for fate, I flip this card over to ready talent.
Right.
I start this game with this side face up, so I'm unready.
So go ahead and flip
So
it over
I'm going to
so we
flip
know
this
what
over to
your
let you
talent
know
is.
what I can do. When I am ready, I may flip this card over to give the card I play this turn +2 range. So I've got further down the line that I can play. And my stunt is, as my turn, I flip the card over to add 3 hits to any one legal foe that has no hits on it.
Ah, okay.
Then I move this card to the furthest range in its row. So,
What is the name of that card?
though this name of the
Name of
card,
sword, right? Amarachius.
Amarachius.
That would be my guess anyway.
That would be my guess as well. So
Okay.
I start unready.
Correct.
He's not ready.
Leader of the pack, my talent is that when I discard for fate, I can add 1 hit to the foe at the longest range. And then my one-time stunt, my alpha pack attack, I flip the card over and I add 1 hit to all foes
You're doing that all wrong. It's we. When we do this, because it's you. You're it too.
that have at least 1 hit.
What is the name of
And
your
Georgia.
Alpha Pack Tech?
Yeah.
What's the name of it? What?
It is Alpha Tech.
Oh, okay.
All right, Karen Murphy.
Alpha Bataki Tack. I am Karen Murphy, SI detective. My talent is when I discard for
Fate.
fate, I add 1 clue to the case at the longest range.
Wow. That's actually very
So
good.
I
This
would
is-
be hitting that guy.
Yeah, that's very helpful.
And then I'm raw determination
Nice.
is my stunt. As your turn, flip this card over to collect 1
Fate.
fate for each foe with hits and each case with clues on
Wow.
it.
That could be a lot, right? So for every one of these on the board, red or green token, when she flips that,
Could
we
restock
get
us.
fate.
So she wants to kind of save that for
Right.
when we go into the storm or the
Right.
showdown potentially.
Correct. There's also
As long as we have things that are left.
it might not be optimal, but the stunt, playing your stunt, is also a way to essentially pass on your turn and not play a card from your hand, because playing your stunt is your whole turn. Playing a card from your hand is your whole turn. Playing or discarding is your whole turn. Passing is obviously your whole turn, and playing a stunt is your whole turn. That's basically it, except once we finish the showdown, then we look at how many cases we've solved. We look at how many foes are still left on the board, and as long as we have more solved cases than there are foes, we win.
Okay.
If they're tied or there are more foes, we lose.
Because we're going to attack them in the next book.
So there's only 4 solved cases, and there's only 4 foes. So if we solve 2 cases, we have to kill 3 foes, or we don't win,
Oh, okay.
right? And that's the entire game. The players, after drawing their cards, can discuss who goes first, and you, as Harry Dresden, actually picks the start player,
I need to shuffle.
as per the rules.
I was not playing with this.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Each foe.
Okay, so I'm pretty good for attacking. And I'm not really that great as far as investigation goes.
I'm pretty good on investigation, but I am Harry Dresden. Karen's probably pretty good at investigation as well.
Yes, I am.
And for investigation?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, cool.
I'm a little mixed. I'm a little light on everything.
Okay.
So one of each.
One of each, kind of. But I could possibly be helpful for getting around an obstacle.
Okay.
Possibly.
Well, is overcoming an obstacle taking care of that one?
Yes, in other words, once you overcome this obstacle, so once this is overcome, then this all attacks cost 1 fate is gone.
Okay. Well,
Okay.
I should start.
And similarly with this.
I have a good card for that situation, too.
Okay.
Can we get rid of both of those
Well,
obstacles?
interestingly enough, there's a reason for us to maybe not want to get rid of this one.
Yeah, that could make it better for us in some ways.
It makes the cost of some
Okay.
stuff less.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Well, maybe I discard my...
In fact, while this is still in play, I have a very good card while that's still in play.
Okay.
That might really help us.
Then you should start.
I have a card that could affect the top row, but I think it can affect the bottom row as well.
Oh.
It talks about
No.
being close to each other.
Okay, so no, I didn't. I actually didn't completely explain this because we didn't get to these cards. But so there's no rows. I mean, there are 2 essential rows. Adjacency is only within the row.
Okay.
The fact, I mean, this is all one 12-card book. The fact that all the cases
Oh.
are up here is just random. I know it looks like we set up the row this way and we set up this row this
Yeah.
way, but it's not the case.
But the foes could be mixed in with the cases.
100%. That's what I'm saying. It's just
Okay.
the way that we shuffled it was just really weird.
We, Dave says.
Yeah.
We, Billy and Georgia.
Yeah.
You wanted me to say we.
That's true.
So Rusty, if you have a card, for example, that solves a case but maybe affects foes, or hits a foe but solves a case, it's not going to be a good card for you because it does not. There's nothing adjacent.
Okay.
These cases are not adjacent to these foes, and vice versa.
Okay. Interesting.
That sounds like a discard to me for fate.
I don't know.
So I actually think starting with me is not bad because if I use some fate and if Nikki uses some fate, you're the best person to get fate back for us at the beginning. All your cards are good. I know you don't want to discard any of them, but remember, you discarding cards allows to also to shuffle stuff for us.
Right, but I don't even know if we're in that situation yet. And if we remove these obstacles, that,
That also helps.
yeah.
But we don't want to remove both of them, you said.
Well, at least we don't want to remove this one as long as I have this card. So,
That's why he wants to start with that.
Okay.
all right. So, Billy and Georgia,
Yeah.
gaming group.
All right.
Ha.
So I'm going to try to take this advantage right here,
Okay.
which gives me a card and then gives 2 cards distributed amongst the other players. And the beauty is, it costs 3 fate, but 2 dice rolls. So let's hope I don't roll horribly.
Yeah, that could be bad.
So you roll 2?
Could be
and-
5.
Okay.
Right, but it's most likely going to be 1 while this is in play.
Okay.
I know it's me rolling dice.
That could be good, though. It's not always bad.
There you go. So that's -2.
So
-1, -2 because of this.
Right.
So that only costs us 1 fate.
Right.
Okay.
And we get rid of this. I'm taking advantage. So that gets me a card. You obviously get a card because you have probably the best deck of everybody. And the question is, who should get the other card? Do you need a card? I mean, obviously we all need cards.
Rusty needs a card.
Probably Rusty, because we decided
he's going to throw out a card, and he has a mix of single cards. He might want to
Okay.
double up on
Yeah.
something.
Great. Take a card.
Thank you.
These all slide down.
Okay.
That's my entire turn. This goes to the book discard deck. And now it's you.
Okay.
There you go.
Do you want me to try to overcome the first obstacle, or did you want to do it, Lincoln?
No, go for it.
If you can do it,
Harry, sorry.
Hey, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is I will definitely, if we can, I can throw these out and get fate points, right?
Correct.
That's, as long as the obstacles are gone.
again, you have probably a lot of really powerful cards because you're Harry Dresden. So you have a lot of expensive cards that probably cost a lot and do great stuff, but also get us a lot of fate. It's going to be tough probably to figure out which ones to keep and throw away, but definitely from the look of my hand, I can't speak for everyone else. Definitely don't get rid of investigate cards unless they're weakish ones.
Right.
Because I've got some pretty good attack cards.
All right. So,
As
well,
do I.
Okay.
I'm not seeing this
Okay.
quite clearly, but okay. Here's my overcome.
Okay, that costs 1. Wow.
It's a badge.
1 in a range of 1.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
so it
beautiful.
gets rid of that first one.
Totally
yes?
does.
What is it called? Badge. Okay.
Badge.
Boom.
And now all attacks do not cost an extra fate.
So right here.
Yep. And everything slides
Slide.
down.
And then this
slide, slippity slide.
discarded,
Yeah.
basically.
You put it in a little discard pile. I can't imagine it's going to happen, but in other books or other scenarios, you might actually need to reshuffle to fulfill your deck.
Okay. Now do I get to draw it back to
No.
5?
Oh,
This is it.
Oh no!
That's what I saw
no,
him
you
do.
don't, Susan.
I saw him do.
Well, because we
Card
took the
did-
advantage that drew
Right.
a card. I know that was confusing.
That's why I was asking.
That was totally confusing.
Hey, I'm going to play It's Not My Fault. Overcome range 1. Boom, it's done. So that one's gone now as well.
Again, let's figure out if we want to get rid of that.
I see what you're saying.
We might not want to get rid of that.
That's why I was asking you if you wanted me to do it or
It's
not.
bad for solving things, and it's bad for, but it's not necessarily bad for spending. I don't
Well,
know.
I mean, I can spend some fate. I got investigation cards that really will help us, and I have attack cards that will really help us.
Are you
But they
going to
cost
discard
bucks.
on your turn?
I will discard, and it will bring back a good chunk of fate.
Okay,
for
then
us.
I would say spend.
Hold on to it then.
Yeah, I would.
Okay. Could cost us, though.
Yeah.
It's a plus and a minus.
And you're meaning we have to hop over this one to do the.
Well, here's the deal, Link. I could do that same thing.
Link.
Harry. I could do that same thing on my turn, basically, if you wanted me to. And-
Well, I have one investigate and one attack that are
that have dice rolling.
ranged.
Okay.
There are some with some dice rolling as well. In other words, they're infinite range, both of the investigate and the attack. It's really up to you guys whether you want to do it. Of course, those are expensive.
Right.
They each cost 4 fate.
Wow. Well, that makes sense. I think the most expensive card is 5, but I'm not sure.
Do we want to try to just investigate first?
Well, until we solve this one, right? We
Yeah.
can't hit him at all.
Right, but of course we can rejigger that with my.
And when we solve
Discarding.
this one, we add 3 clues to this one. Do you have anything that's only a range 2?
One range. That was why I was kind of hoping to use it because it's pretty strong on
We
that.
get it out of the way, right?
Yeah, but if you,
All right,
but
go
it
ahead.
is a die roll though. It is a die roll, and that could be beneficial.
Get rid
right?
of that then. If
Okay.
that's what you want to do, then go for it.
Okay, boom, that's done.
Okay.
Not my fault.
And it
Okay.
moves all these closer. That helps range wise too.
Yeah, that's what.
Hang on, that costs 1.
Yep.
All right.
All right. I am discarding the Fist of God for 4 fate.
Ooh.
And because I'm discarding a card,
Yep.
I get to become ready with my talent.
Nice.
That totally makes sense.
It actually works out great.
When I discard, I can add a hit to the foe with the longest range. So I might do that. This attack can only be used if it will not. Okay. Defeat. This guy can't get hits. Well, Nikki, I'm going to do the same thing for you. So, because
would
we don't
that-
need to overcome things anymore. So I'm going to discard that. It only gets us one of these. But when I discard, I can add a hit to the foe at the longest range, and that's this guy. That's the Shadow Man.
Okay.
So at least he's got a hit on him now. And that's my turn.
All right.
So there you go. Go ahead and spend some fate if you want.
I'm looking at my ranges on detective work. 3 or 1. I think I'm going to discard, actually.
Well, we can only have 3 to earn. So if you're discarding something that gains us more than 3, it's not helpful.
Well, I think we should investigate if we can.
I would agree.
Investigate. That's what I'm going to do now.
I would agree.
Well,
Right.
I'm-
Ideally, this one, because it puts 3 here when we get it.
Okay.
What?
I just wanted, because my talent
Right.
gives
A clue to the
a
case.
clue to the case of the longest range, so I could add a clue to that. And that seems like a lot of clues we have to get
Right.
to unlock, so
But
we can
again, we
move.
don't know what the cards are, right? We could, I think maybe saving that when it's at 9 would be better than.
Okay.
Well, I'm going to discard for sure on my turn to shift this closer. I want to get. I don't know how far I can get it because I don't have that many I really can throw away. But
All
Right.
right. Well, then I'll just do this one. I won't.
Do a big old
Do-
investigate.
I'm going to investigate at a range 1.
That's great.
That's going to cost 3 fate.
That's beautiful.
It puts 3 clues on this dude.
Victor,
Yeah.
Victor,
is
the first
missing.
one.
Okay.
Did I read all that right?
Yep.
Yep.
And it's done, right?
That's done. That's great.
Okay.
You
That's
go, Murphy.
Totally great.
so I'm going to discard my overcome card,
Yep.
and that'll give us
3. Nice.
And I want to shift this 1.
Yep.
Because my investigate stuff is closer.
Yep.
One of them is very
I like
very
it.
close.
I like it.
It'd be nice if I can get it even closer.
Now, for just so you guys know, this advantage right here, I can never take advantage of that advantage
Why is that?
because you need a card to do that.
Yeah, I can't either.
Oh, I can.
I have no advantage cards.
Okay.
I'm at a disadvantage.
I should have said that. That's so smart. I like that. You're so good. Yeah.
I am not at a disadvantage,
I really,
So-
really like this pile.
but I could get to it.
This turn?
I could get to it technically this turn using my
using
talent.
power?
Using my talent.
Does the talent work for any card or just attacks? What does it say?
It just gives +2 range.
I feel like you should save it.
I can't get to it now.
I feel like you should.
Should I not have shifted these? Should I have shifted that closer?
No, I think you
No.
did the right thing. Because again, this is going to help us get rid of this.
But this would have given 3 onto here when this one was completed. But now that it's shifted, it'll put 3 to
No,
the 11.
it puts
No.
3 on who is the Shadow Man.
Oh, it is,
Yeah,
doesn't it?
it's
I
always
read that
way.
wrong.
Yeah.
Okay, excellent.
No, we'll eventually,
man.
let's be optimistic. We'll eventually get rid of one of these guys.
Sure.
And you're going to discard again probably at least one more time for a shift. You don't think so?
The downer is I can absolutely do some attack stuff.
Yeah.
You know?
Well,
But we have to get rid of this first. This first. That's why I'm trying to.
Well, we can attack this and we can attack this. I mean,
Right.
we're allowed to defeat.
Well, I do have a.
In fact, when this is defeated, 2 clues come off of is Marconi involved. So ideally, we want to kill this before we put any clues on this.
Right. I can work on that.
If you can reach this, Rusty, I can
I
actually.
can as well.
I can reach this on my turn.
I could, but it would take him down not quite half,
That'll work.
and it would use my talent. I'm very weak as
Oh.
far as
Well,
as far
then-
as
That's not
distance.
true about Michael. Okay.
As
He's
far
a
as
close
distance,
range guy.
I'm a close range guy.
Well,
I'm
then,
right up there in the fight.
If you can do
Now,
some close range investigation, go for it.
I have. This will be the extent of my investigation capabilities.
Okay.
I am a Knight of the Cross, not a PI.
Okay.
So I'm going to investigate. It will take 3 fate, but it will place 3 clues upon Victor is missing,
Okay.
and it's a range of 1.
There you go. So we're 3 away from solving that one. I feel like I should fight the giant scorpion.
Question mark?
Well, I can't fight this. I guess
Right.
I guess we want to get rid of this first, right?
Before we put any clues here.
Yeah. All right. Do you want me to? What do you guys think? Should I
I could potentially do some good hits here.
should I hit it or should I really hit it?
I think you should just hit it
Just hit it?
because I can probably finish that one off.
Hit it.
Well, if there's fate for you.
Exactly. It's big hit, big fate.
Okay. Well, I can. Oh, I can't. That doesn't have the range. I can either. Okay. Well, death grip then. Oh wait, if this attack defeats, I don't want to waste that now.
Okay, save it. Because I'm gonna investigate. I think I'm gonna investigate on my turn because before these are all gone, I might as well.
Okay, well, I'm gonna use. It's a lot of fate. I have a maximum fate card. Is that okay to use?
Yeah, I guess so.
It means that Nikki will have to discard something, or
Okay.
use her thing. Is that okay?
I would think so. What was it? Hers? What was? I know it was like based on tokens, right?
What are you talking about?
Your
Yeah.
When I discard for the fate, add 1 clue to the case at the longest
That's
range.
furthest away.
Okay, now what was this one?
This one, my one-time deal is as a turn, flip this card over to collect 1 fate for each foe with hits and each case with clues on it.
Okay, yeah, we want to save that one for when
Yeah.
there's stuff on the board.
Right.
That was what I was thinking of, but for whatever reason I had it as investigate, not with foes.
Damn, this is tough because
Yeah.
part of me, it's like I'm willing to throw this card away. Like I have an investigate card, but I feel like you guys probably have that covered.
Well, we is it how powerful? What does it need?
Well, it involves rolling a lot of dice.
Oh,
That's
but
part of
it's
the
not going
problem
to give
with
us
it.
lots of fate because it's not many.
It will give us a lot of fate.
Oh, when
if
you
I
roll it, you
if
do
I
that.
discard it, and I feel like I should because it seems like you have the investigate stuff. I'm mostly
Well, I have some, but I don't know that I can take care of everything. Right? That's the problem. There's a lot of points of investigate that we must come up with, and I don't.
yes.
And I'm not an investigator, so
Yeah.
I can lend no assistance.
Okay.
You've done your You're all spent on your
I'm
investigation.
good on investigation.
Okay. Then, if you think you're good on investigation, I might just discard this now for.
You're doing an investigate. You're discarding.
I wouldn't discard and investigate.
Investigation is the one thing I do have cards, but I don't have.
All right.
I don't have it sewn up.
Exactly.
Here's the thing: if I spend a big card, Nikki, it means you probably don't have enough things to do something.
I can't do anything right now, the way the board is.
Oh, in that case, here I go.
Okay.
I'm going to spend 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It does 5 hits, but I can only use that if it doesn't defeat the foe, and that has a range of 3, so I can put 5 here.
Cool.
Okay.
Otherwise,
So that was the big one?
That was the big one.
What was the other reason why you couldn't use the other one? Doesn't matter.
I could use the other one, but the other one gives us a big advantage if it defeats the foe.
We just need to get for me to make this work. Then, will there be 0 hits on this, or we just can't defeat it until?
We can never put hits on it until
Yeah,
the other
see,
thing
that's
is
bad.
Till the other thing is zapped.
Right.
And that's this one.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, that's not happening.
Wait, didn't that have a clue on it already?
No.
No, because
because
flipped
yeah.
it. So I'm discarding, using my talent as well.
Gets us one of these.
So it gets us 1 and 1 clue to the case at the longest range. So we can add a clue to that.
So what was that not going to be good for this at all? Is that what the deal was?
This is not a good. This is not because it affects this guy. It puts him at right.
Puts him at the farthest
Puts
range.
him at the farthest range.
That's
But
not
how
bad.
is that good for us?
Because right now a lot of our 1 attacks are useless until this gets moved to somewhere
Well, my
else.
range is all long anyway, so we're okay on that.
Do you want me to take that back?
Not necessarily. What else did that give us?
a card
You draw a card and then take another turn.
and take another
Nikki
turn,
might-
which is kind of good. But I thought moving him to the end of the line isn't
Well,
necessarily
she doesn't have the
the
range
best
for that anyway,
thing.
unless we had
Yeah.
that other card that we got rid
Correct.
of.
Range on this is 2
Plus
plus
the die
a
roll,
die
which
roll.
would mean maybe
Yeah.
3, maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah,
I didn't think it was
yeah, maybe less range.
right. So that was my turn if we want to stick with
Okay,
it.
so should I? So I have a card that affects everything in that row.
Okay.
That's a foe, except it won't hit this one.
Does it add basically 1 hit to everything?
It adds 2.
Oh, that'd be great. That kills this.
The problem is we don't have enough fate. Nikki only got us
Oh.
1, but
That's all I could do.
I understand. So the problem is
Yes, Rusty?
I'm only going to be able to add a few fate over the next couple of turns.
Right. Well, that's why I was talking about
Yeah.
throwing away my investigate card and trying to add fate to the thing.
it's okay. We didn't do it. Everything
here's
I
the
have
thing,
is
Dave.
big.
Yep.
We wouldn't be in that situation of needing these
Right. Well, we're always going to...
if you hadn't used that. So throwing away the investigation to get more fate.
You told me not to
doesn't-
do it.
I know.
Oh.
I'm saying it doesn't because we weren't in that situation.
Right.
You used the
Yeah.
thing that ate up 5 of those.
Right.
If you hadn't used it, we'd still be fine, and throwing away a card wouldn't have necessarily been the best choice.
Yeah, I don't know if I should pass then. I mean, I guess I can dump these cards, but
We
I don't
could
think
pass for 1 fate.
I know, but
I'm happy to throw away a card for a lot of fate on my turn. Also, Nikki's stunt is becoming more valuable. Mm-hmm. Right.
As
right
we get
now,
more things,
right now,
it's
her
2.
stunt would get us 1, 2, 3, 4 fate back.
oh, okay.
Anything that has tokens on it gets us
Mm-hmm.
my fate back.
Then let's pass. Let me pass because I know you say they're good to do, but I don't see that. Look at all the values here.
I
These
know.
are huge.
I know. What's your stunt again? I forgot.
Mine is add 1 to 4 hits to any one foe that will be defeated.
Oh, that will be defeated.
Yeah. That will be helpful, but we have. I only have 2 attack cards,
Right.
and they're not. One of them's a bunch of them, and one of them's 1.
Can you get 1 to this?
Remember, I need fate.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Can you get 1 with this available fate?
Yep.
Can you get 1 of this? Okay.
Everything I have is more than that.
Okay.
So there's your clue. So I'm going to pass. Dump 1.
Okay. Then I'm going to...
Can you get 1 to this?
no, not with what's out there for fate.
Okay.
Well, unless I could get 3 to it. I could... No, but it has hits on it already,
Yep.
so I can't help that.
Okay.
So I'm going to discard blessings to attempt to get us hopefully 3 fate back, because these will do me no good any longer.
Oh,
Yay.
Yes,
Yay.
3 fate.
2 and 3.
Yeah, we couldn't use the overcome.
Right.
Don't need it.
I know you say I should keep this investigate card, Nikki, but I think I'm going to discard it because we need fate. And my discarding stuff adds hits to things.
Okay. Is that why you wanted to get within 1?
Well, within 1, I would just flip this over because this adds 1 hit to everything that has hits.
Right.
Like if this were at 10 and this were at 6,
Right.
but you're never going to be able to max that out. All right, I'm getting rid of pack hunting. It gets us 5 of these.
Sweet.
Because here's the deal. It adds 4 clues, but I have to roll 3 dice.
Yeah.
So that could be 7 clues,
Or
but that could
1.
be 1 clue, depending on how I rolled.
Still great, man. I don't know.
You got to do something, right? We got to get the fate back in some way, and that adds a hit to this. The card,
Well, we
the one
don't.
with
Do
the
you have any
longest
more of
range.
these cards, Nick?
No.
Yeah. See, that's the problem. She needs to. She kind of needs
Rusty
another
has
card.
an advantage card.
Okay. Well, it's not a card for her to draw, which is what we want. We want to investigate. I
If
mean,
I
Rusty
can-
might draw an investigate card since he was so weak. There may be another card in here.
Right.
If I can solve a case on my turn with an investigation card I have, I can draw a card from my deck, but I have to solve it.
Right. Okay, so it's Nikki's
Well,
turn, right?
can you put 3 clues here? That solves that case.
If I want to burn a range of 3,
No, range 3. It's anything within range 3, or it is only range 3.
I thought it was
No, range 3 means anything within
Or
the range
less.
of 3. I would do it.
within the range of.
I would do it if it gets you a card.
Let's
Gets
see.
us a
Draw.
solved case
It
as well.
gets us a solved case. It takes everything down a range. It gets you a
Well, I
card.
can also solve. Well, she wants to solve it on her turn.
Because that'll get her a
Removes
card.
one
Well,
card.
what is it? How many does this need?
3.
Oh. Shoot. That one, no. The one that gets is only going to give 2.
to solve the case. So go ahead and use the other one, or use your stone.
Which
She could
won't
do the
give
2. I
me
can
a
finish it
card.
on my turn.
It
Right.
will not give me a card.
Right.
But
that
it,
was.
but it might next turn. On your next turn, if that's set up for you, you could pass. We have plenty of fate.
Yeah, because then it'll. I have something that will add.
Can I pass?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's a better move.
Okay,
Okay,
so I'm going to
pass.
investigate. This one requires 4 fate.
Okay.
Lets us add 2 to all cases in one row, which your shuffling has made
Oh, yes.
has made my deck really great.
So it adds 2.
Yep.
Shoot all cases in one row.
So that's within 1 for you to take care of that one if you want.
Well, when this is defeated, we'll lose these 2, but that's okay.
If that's defeated.
Oh, or if we solve that first, then it
Yes.
doesn't really matter. Ah, that's really nice. All right, Rusty.
Well, unfortunately, I can't help with the investigation, and I can't help with the attacks either. I could either try to go for the advantage
With your range thing?
with my talent, or I could just add to our fate. But it wouldn't be that great
Well,
of an
when
increase.
Nikki should be triggering her stunt at some point. We now have 6.
Yeah, I can
Okay.
get
If we can get any more
6.
stuff on, if we can hit one more thing, that's 7.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
It'll only
that's
give us
pretty
7.
good.
If-
Okay.
yeah.
I can add to this.
Okay.
Then that
Okay,
would
well
get
then
a
Nikki
7.
could do it. That would be probably the best time to do that, because it'll never be better than that,
How
unless we want to.
how
save
much
it
of this
again.
do you use up if you go for the advantage?
Very little.
Oh wow.
Not absolute nothing, but very little.
Well, that's
Then
good.
maybe go for the advantage. Well, look, you know
Yeah.
you know your hand.
I think
Do you
I-
have anything else in your deck in your hand that you're going to need extended range on? You know what your cards are. You figure out the best use of the
Yes, but I think I will be able to get that back
range by discarding.
by discarding again.
Okay.
I
and
didn't
using
say I
that.
was
So
consulting with Bob on that, by the way.
So,
I should have said that.
so yeah,
Bob.
That's great.
so I think this makes
Okay, do
this
it.
makes sense. So I am going to
2.
It's 2 fate, range 2 plus range 2, making it range 4
Okay.
to get me to the advantage.
Speed potion. When taken, you draw a card.
Okay.
So go
And I
ahead.
immediately take another turn too.
That goes in the discard, and we move this to the end. These all slide down.
Slippity slide.
Wow.
Now you can investigate.
Don't do it.
I can help with an investigation, but not at this moment. So what I'm going to do for my second action is I'm going to discard it
Oh, I don't.
For one.
one, and it allows me to get this back, and it allows me to finish my turn. So you guys have a little more positive on that.
This is perfect. I am going to
Perfect.
red in tooth and claw. It costs 2. And it adds 1 hit. But it adds a hit here for purposes of Nikki's card.
Yep. We're gonna need it.
Okie dokie.
And it also is going to help my stunt when it comes to me.
So do we want her to do that?
I think right
Oh,
now.
yes.
I know. I'm just wondering if we
but-
want to potentially save it for the showdown. But
You can't. Once we get to the showdown, you're not playing cards in your hand anymore.
okay, because it's just we're going to spend it all for sure. There won't be that much fate necessarily. But anyway, go ahead.
Do we have enough fate for her to play the card?
Yeah, 2.
No, she's flipping her stunt.
Oh, she's
Do my
flipping her
stunt.
stunt. Got it.
Absolutely do it, Nikki. It's
It's
huge.
my stunt.
Yeah.
It gets us 1, 2,
Yep.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
That's the best
fate.
we're gonna get.
Oh, yeah.
2, 4.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Did you
I'll wait
counted
till you-
everything?
I'll wait till you officially
Yeah,
do
we
it.
did.
Yeah.
Collect 1 on each foe with hits and each case with clues.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
That gets us the maximum we can
2,
get.
4,
Stunt.
6, 7. That was sweet.
Okay.
All right, Harry.
So we didn't want her to do the investigate where she was going to get to draw a card here.
I don't think she had enough fate to do it anyway.
I wouldn't have. There was only 2 or 3 there, right?
Okay,
No.
so
No way.
we're not going to take care of this one yet, obviously. So we may not be able to attack him, but he's now at the back of the pack. So
I can.
should I? Well, I'm going to just do Pyro Fuego then, because
Okay.
what it does is it adds 2 to everything in a row. Again, with your shuffling, you're dealing it out.
4 of
like that.
those.
Yep.
That's 2 here. Oh, hey. It adds 2 here.
Yep, that one's done.
Aw, goodbye clues from...
I know, but what are we going to do? That's
Nothing.
why we want her
I
to
agree.
Yeah.
take advantage of that.
I agree.
And that's that.
But it can't add 2
Yep.
here.
So that's done.
Okay.
These are gone.
Yep.
It's all right.
It was the best thing I think we could do there.
Book this card. The slide.
Zippity slide.
I like it.
And
Are
it
we
is
in good shape?
No. But it feels like we're at least doing stuff now.
I could. That would be a big risk, though.
Are we going to have... Can she do the investigate where she can get that card drawn on this? Should we hold off on investigation until Nikki's turn?
Well, I can't investigate anyway, so it's really up to Rusty.
Okay.
Yes, I think so.
You have to have 4 fate in order to play that one.
Well, there's 5 right now, and he's going to
I'm just saying.
potentially discard.
Okay.
Or pass, which would take it down 1.
I could help in either row.
What's your stun? I forgot.
My stunt is to add 3 hits to any one legal foe that has no hits on it.
Oh.
And then move it to the furthest range in its row. But the problem is,
Yep.
we can't add any to that right now, so we need to solve Victor is missing first.
You're going to solve this.
I'm
in
not,
your turn,
I'm
right?
sorry, we need to solve who is the
Yes.
shadow.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, no, we need to solve who's the shadow.
Yes.
Man.
Yes.
Ugh.
I could help with that on a future turn, but
Well, if you
we don't have enough.
What's Dave? What do you plan on doing, Dave?
I'm planning on playing my stunt because I've only got 1 card left.
Okay.
And I don't want to use fate points because I want Nikki to have
So if
them.
he passes, we dump 1. I mean, it leaves me with nothing, but I suppose I could discard one of these and just go for it.
Well, the deal is we're going to add 3 to who's the shadow man when we solve this one.
Right.
So
I have a question for you, Nikki.
Yes?
Is this card that allows you to draw a card?
Yes.
It's a bonus if that happens, but it's not. You can play the card regardless, right?
I could.
We might be focused too much on her drawing that card.
Do we need another card?
Potentially, yes.
Yeah, but not at the cost of not solving stuff. Like, if Rusty can solve this, that might be our best move.
It's too much of a risk.
Oh, then never mind what I said.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's I've suddenly been blessed by the power of Harry here, and I've suddenly gotten this magical inspiration for investigation.
Well, you are allowed to do your stunt as a punt if you want to just pass, right? It
But he
technically-
can't do anything then.
Right, but he doesn't use any fate.
You're not going to waste one of these, correct?
Correct.
He could just waste one.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: his stunt is probably useless. All it's ever going to do is add 1 here, right?
That's correct. Well, it'd add, add 3. Adds 3. It adds 3 hits
Yeah.
to one legal foe that has
that's
none
what-
on it.
I apologize.
That's
Never
pretty
mind.
great.
I misread
So-
your stunt.
So we would have to solve who is the Shadow Man,
Right.
and then I could attack him. But
Okay.
nobody
so maybe
else.
you should pass.
So, I mean, that would be essentially multiple attacks that I would have the
Yep.
ability for.
I would
Right.
agree.
All right, I'm going to pass then.
Okay. I am going to use my stunt because it adds a hit to anything that has a hit. And there's no reason to wait
Yep.
around for this to happen.
Okay.
So that puts 1 here, and that puts 1 here. And that's my turn.
Okay.
Yep.
Then I use my investigation. This is, and I'm going to use it on this first one.
Because
Going to
4.
add 2, which solves it, plus 1.
Yep. So when
And then
solved, that
when
adds 3 clues here. Right?
Yep.
And then what
Yes.
else, Nikki?
And then I get to draw a card.
Yay.
Because
hopefully
we
it's an
solved
attack.
that.
Nice.
That's all I can tell you.
An attack or an investigation?
Attack.
Either.
Because my attack card is worthless until something happens, so I'm probably going to end up discarding that attack.
You
No.
need to
That's-
discard anyway because we have no fate points.
I understand.
Okay, that goes there.
Well, okay, Lincoln.
Hey,
sorry.
we solved a case.
Yay.
I guess technically.
Yeah.
And then these slide down.
So I'm going to throw away my good attack because we can't do anything about it, but it gives us 5 fate.
And you get to shift stuff. So
Yeah.
the question is,
Well, I don't know what my investigate is within 1 range. I would like to get this to here, so I might as well just do it.
I agree. That sounds great.
Okay. Okay. Here's my problem. I have the ability to solve Shadow Man,
Okay.
but
It costs us all our fate.
it may cost us more than all of our fate.
Because you have to roll dice.
Are you gonna be
Well,
crazy?
that's mine too. Mine is, it gives us additionally, it could be 3 to 7 strength on my investigate. But it has to be right here.
Okay,
This
now
could be that, you know.
It seems like it's worth the risk. What do you think?
What means you'll be discarding though on your turn.
For fate. Sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
So-
I mean,
We're
that's
about
the,
ready to go.
That's
to
the game, right?
Yes.
so should I risk this?
Hang on. If this attack succeeds, my attack would not kill anything anyway.
Okay.
It would add 3 hits, but it wouldn't
That's
attack.
good.
It wouldn't kill anything anyway.
But I have no more attacks.
You might roll a minus, right?
I might roll a minus.
Let me ask you this: if you roll a blank, are we okay?
You will need to discard.
That's fine, but
Yeah.
we're not.
Yeah, it's.
Then let's try.
Let's
we
run
might
for
as well
it.
do it. Don't
All
you
right.
think? What do you guys
Yeah,
think?
well-
All right,
Sure.
and because of where it's at, I no longer need to use my talent.
So that's 5 fate
5.
plus what you roll.
Yeah.
Come on, Rusty. Woo!
Okay.
5 fate?
He is done.
No, you're adding 5 clues.
It's done.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes. Oh, wow, that's
And who's the
perfect.
Shadow
And
Man?
what's
We know
his special
we've solved
dealy
that one.
bop?
Until he.
We can't deal with that.
Okay.
So we
so-
can now deal with that.
Yay.
Let me slide down. But more importantly, we have 2. Okay. I'm discarding Death Grip. Oops, hey. This Susan Rodriguez card has been here the whole time. I'm discarding Death Grip
For 4.
for 4.
Nice.
Okay.
I now have no more cards, so I have to be able to pass on my turn. Or
Or
we
we're
go
going
to
into
the, or we go to the
showdown.
showdown.
Showdown. I can investigate, or I could throw away for fate, which will allow me to roll 2 dice, right? 2 dice to the fate.
You certainly don't want to play that card because that's no pun
Yeah.
intended dicey.
Yeah,
And
but it might
would that
get-
help you out?
Well, yeah, I mean, I will be able to. This is expensive. My card's expensive,
Do
but
it.
I could take care of that.
Do
in
it.
one
Discard.
shot.
Do
Could.
it.
Okay, so I discard, and because I'm discarding 1 clue token because of my talent.
Not yet. Roll 2 dice first.
Okay, doesn't matter what to. I'm gonna
No.
mix it up.
Yeah. All right. So we get 3 of these. And your power is add a clue.
Add a clue to a case
With
with,
the
the
longest
longest
range?
range.
Okay, here we go.
Nice.
So
And now it's Lincoln's turn.
So I'm going to be spending my last card, Soul Gaze.
Does your stunt work now? Before you do that?
Yeah, it's 4. It's any one. Nope, it's 5. It needs to be 5. Can't do it yet.
Oh, because it has to kill it.
I could do it next round potentially,
Okay.
as long as somebody puts an attack on there. If we add 1 to either one of these, I can take care of it.
Okay.
No, that's not correct. I need 2 to that one to take care of it. So Soul Gaze lets me add 5 to 7, depending on what I roll here, for range 1. So spend 5.
Hang on for a second. Rusty, can you put any hits on these?
Yes.
Then Lincoln, you
But-
should
Pass?
pass. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
Go for it, Rusty.
so moved 1.
Yep.
Remember,
So-
I got to have 5 to make that happen, though.
That's correct.
Here's the question.
Oh crap.
Yeah.
That's the issue.
Well, then Nikki's gonna have to discard and make that happen.
I can.
Okay, if she has the stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can use my stunt
Yes.
to add 3 to him.
Okay.
Or I
Ooh.
can, I mean, if that's,
No, it still doesn't do your stunt, right? You can only do 1 to 4.
Right. But,
Adding 3 there doesn't help.
right, so I can add
well, Nikki might be. I don't know what
1
she
to
has.
4.
but-
I think she has an investigate card.
It's an
You
investigation.
you would be able to, if you get sufficient, to take out the giant scorpion. Fine. You would also be able to take out the Shadow Man, depending on which way I go with this. So is there one that you would prefer that I attack?
It doesn't matter to me, right? Well, we have to deal with stuff at the end here, right?
Yeah.
So don't we want everything to be as low as possible? So get rid of the Shadow Man. Although he's only 6 away from being done. This is 5, this is 6, this is 8.
So do we want to take him from 6 down, or do we want to take...
We're not going to have enough fate for the end of the game anyway to get hits.
Well, 0 fate would be 6 rolls.
Right. Yeah, if we get pluses.
There's potential.
It's true. You're totally true.
I'm Harry. I'm optimistic.
You can do it, Harry. We can do it. So, do I attack or do I use my stunt?
Your stunt adds 3.
3 to him, and this is the only time I'll be able to use
Yeah,
it.
see, foes with hits, 6. We can roll up to 6 times.
Well, if you attack, let me ask you this.
Yes.
If you need a good amount of fate to play your last card. No, because you're going to use your stunt.
This does. My to investigate is 5.
I think you attack.
I attack, and then I can use my stunt on the next
Yes,
turn.
that's what I think.
Okay, now here's the rub. Hopefully I roll well, as it's 3 fate with a roll.
Okay.
And if I'm going after the first one, I don't use him.
You can
but
only go after the first. Oh, for your range. see what you're
I
saying.
could range.
You don't have to decide now. You can decide after you roll.
Okay, so
4 fate. It's okay. 4 fate.
but neither she's going to have to discard.
Oh, we already said that.
She would have to anyway, I think, even if you had whatever.
Okay.
So where do we want to add the 3? Do we care? Whatever we add it to, Lincoln's going to be able to kill it. Right?
Except for this.
Correct. But he's only got a... it's only range 1.
No, I've got
Oh,
this
if you
to
want
take
to
it
use
to
your
3
range.
So that's 5. Yeah, I'd say on the middle one.
on the middle one because the
This needs 5 to kill and this needs 6.
yeah.
Yep.
Agreed.
Okay. And if we leave him blank on my next turn, I'll be able to use my stunt
Yep, to do it.
to add 3 to him, so then we can still attack him in the showdown.
Yeah, we're in good shape.
Okay.
Goodish shape.
I'm going to pass.
Okay, now Nikki P.
All right, so I'm discarding, correct?
Yep.
So that's 5.
Wow.
2, 4, 5.
And because we discarded 1 clue to the
Yes!
case of the longest range,
Woot!
Okay. So, do you want me to investigate or do you want me to attack? This could be taken care of. Oh no, it's right here. This could be taken care of.
I think you attack.
So flip over my, use my blasting rod.
I think so. What do you guys think?
It doesn't spend any fate.
Well, here's what's going to happen. Regardless of what's going to happen, Rusty's going to pass, I'm going to pass, Nikki's going to
Yeah.
No,
pass.
then I need to spend this now.
No, why would I pass? I would use my stunt.
Sorry. Rusty's going to use the stunt. I'm going to pass, Nikki's going to pass.
Yeah.
Does that card need 4?
Yeah, it needs 5, so I need to spend it now.
Well,
Oh no, that pushes out.
if you spend it now, then you don't use your stunt.
I can also spend it for 5. That spending it for 5 isn't bad too because we have some. Should I do that just for 5 now and then my final action?
Are you killing one of these on your turn?
No, I'm only adding 3 to him.
Because it's the one with the furthest range?
It's the empty. Anyone that doesn't have any hits.
So in other words, I think I should discard this. We're not going to solve this. I should discard this to give us 5, so we have some fate to deal with the end.
Ah, that might be the way to go.
Mm-hmm.
Harry to the rescue. So let's do that for 5.
so 5.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
And that way you guys aren't passing because all of us...
Well, no, we are going to pass.
They don't have cards.
We don't have
We
cards.
still want him to use his stunt.
you still want to use the
still
stunt.
want him to use
okay,
his
so
stunt.
I'm using my stunt to add 3 to 1 legitimate foe without
Any hits.
any hits.
I'm going to pass.
And then I pass.
Then I do my thing. So let's kill the Shadow Man. Let's take care of him.
That's the only one you can,
Yep,
right?
Yep, 1 to 4 hits. Look, his hand's all cold now.
That goes there.
It's not really cold, but
Yeah, we just needed like 1 more fate, maybe, or 2. Because if you could have solved one of those cases, then we win regardless,
right.
Ah,
right?
okay.
Okay.
Well, I mean,
now it's
Well,
Rusty's.
this is
it's only it's
interesting.
5. It could have been 3 to 7.
Yeah.
It's not-
Oh, I
it's
see.
like-
Because you had to roll.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 5, but I have to roll.
So, I say we go to
Yep.
the showdown.
Okay.
Do we agree?
Yes.
we have.
We can't do
We
anything
none of us have any
otherwise.
cards anyway.
All right.
Right.
So we deal with these cards one at a time in any order that we want. Right?
Okay.
This is not bad. We
How
have
does
all
this
this.
work?
Why
We
don't
pick a thing and we decide.
Why don't we go after the
Ritual. Double murder.
We need 6, and if we solve that, we win. Do we not?
Yes.
Because we will have 3, and there are only 2 enemies left.
Correct. So if you're saying spend 4 of these right now to get 3 clues plus 6 dice.
Yeah, but
That's what
does
you're
it
saying?
subtract clues when you
Yes.
add-
It might.
Yes. That's why it's the big bad ending.
So but it's we only need 6 versus 7, so I agree with Rusty.
But we only need 5 hits, but hits are going to be harder
Here's
to
the
get.
deal, though. You can only spend 3 clues for the hits, and you can only do the card once. So there's no reason. They each need 5, right? No. Yeah, they each need 5.
No,
so
this needs 6.
no, each
the
of
foes.
these need
Oh, yeah,
5.
exactly.
So you could. Here's the deal. Let's try one of these first.
Can we do both, or can we only do one?
We're doing all 4 cards. We're
gonna
gonna
try.
attack. We're gonna deal with all 4 of these cards one at a time.
Okay.
So at the very least, we're gonna spend 0 on something and deal with it. But we're gonna deal with all of these cards one at a time.
Excellent.
So since we're not gonna spend clues twice, yes.
We're only going to deal with 3 of the cards.
Oh, correct. Because we can't deal with this one.
yes.
Why is that?
It doesn't have anything on it already.
Okay.
Thank you for reminding me of that
Yeah.
rule.
Wow.
So this is regardless. So let's do this first.
Sure.
Because what difference does it make, right? All right, so if we spend 3 fate, that puts 2 hits plus 5 dice, and I can't think of a better person to roll than Mr. Harry Dresden.
Well, okay.
So pick 5 of those dice. And
Oh, wait, I'm fire. Right?
Yeah,
Okay.
well,
Okay, one at a time.
come on.
okay, so still
The
3,
pain.
or so
Still
2, 3,
Plus.
Oof.
2. No, that's it.
Ah,
One.
come on. Oh.
1 hit.
Okay.
All right, so that's that. This card has been dealt with. We can no longer deal with it again.
Dealt with in quotation marks.
Yeah, so that's that. All right,
Okay, let me try all of them.
now here's the question. Oh!
Uh-huh.
That wasn't the win, though. We were still
No.
1 short. So here's the question.
Yeah.
Do you want to spend 3 here, or do you want to spend 4 here?
What do we need to win?
We need 6 clues here.
No, but what's...
We need to, if we defeat either of these, we win.
Okay. What do you think, guys?
Well,
Oh, well, there
Harry,
is no, it's a 1 to a 3 jump, so it's 3 and 2. It's either 3 and 2 or 1 and 3. Oof. It's all bad. I don't know. What do you feel more lucky at? You're the investigator,
I'm the investigator.
so you'd be probably rolling for the investigation. What do you want to do?
Oh, boy, howdy.
Lincoln's like, oh, thank God it's not me.
Like, I've been rolling
I know,
so
trust
well.
me.
Fudge dice.
Trust me, I don't like it either. Nobody wants to do it. Let's just go for this. What do you think?
Okay.
I think we go for that.
All right, Nikki.
Yes, sir.
Roll 6 of those dice.
Okay. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
All right, we're adding
what's
3
happening, right?
clues plus whatever she
I'm gonna
does.
do it all together.
Come
I
on.
know.
Come on, Nikki.
All pluses.
You can do it.
I want to see a +3. What we need to see is +3.
How about 3 minuses?
Bum, 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 bum.
That's a +1 clue.
All right, well, 1 fate for 1 hit here plus 5
Oh,
dice.
my goodness.
I'll do it if you want.
Yeah.
I know
Pick your dice.
It can't
They're
be.
evil dice.
All right, let's do all the blues and 1 of these because these are clearly horrible.
We're
Bam.
gonna do them all.
All right, here we go.
Here?
Yep.
Yeah.
It's a minus, so it's 0.
So
We're
we
terrible.
solve 2. There are 2 foes. The foes win, ties, we lose. That's the game.
What happens to us? The bad guys win.
I don't think there's any flavor text on what happens when you lose.
Okay.
Each of the books. That, as much as I really enjoyed this, that would have been nice to have, like a little pre-game for each
Yeah.
book, like a little
Right.
pre-game thing or a little post-game thing.
Well, there you go. Murphy only has 2 attack cards.
Well, I think everybody only
In
has
her
2.
whole entire
No,
deck.
Three.
No, look, I've got 4. I
Yeah.
mean, because look, I'm wolves, right? I mean, I think the
You're
cards
all
are.
about fighting.
Yeah, I think the cards are tailored to your character for sure.
I fight if I have to.
My big attack
Yeah.
was in the deck.
Yeah.
Dragon Slayer.
Yes.
Yeah, it's actually really fun. It's
Yeah.
just it would be awesome if there was a little bit more flavor from the books.
Right.
I mean, the characters and all the spells and things like that are all things from the books. So I mean, at least from what I remember.
Yeah.
The Blue Beetle, of course.
What do you think, Nikki P?
I like the way you had to, the way you were forced to fight.
Well, is
was
it because of the
different.
way we dealt the cards out in the beginning as well? I mean,
That's part of it, right?
that was different. We didn't have stuff mixed in, so
Yeah.
It was weird,
Yeah.
but you could
it was
argue
a-
that was an advantage
For my
because
character,
your two
yeah.
things were
Yeah.
like everything in this one row,
Right.
and it still didn't help us.
well, we did use them on both.
Right.
It helped us. I mean, we did something. We're down.
We got
to-
close.
Yeah.
We certainly got close. We probably, if we had started at the easy level, we probably would have done it.
Yeah, we
Right.
were definitely worried about fate.
Being down 5 fate to start wasn't great.
Yeah,
Sorry.
but who wants to play the easy way?
I agree.
So
Yeah,
yes,
we would have definitely lost on the hard one.
I liked the way it was set up for attacking, the way the board works for that. I don't think I've seen any game that kind of worked that way. I like this end
Yeah.
setup
Except
here.
it's these. Ugh. It's so terrible. How many is it?
It's
Oh, it's
2,
two
2,
of
and
each,
2.
yeah.
It's just 2, 2, and 2.
But the flavor could be deeper, yes, like what you were saying.
Yep.
But it's still sort of there.
Nope.
A lot of minuses, man. Like,
Nope.
yeah.
Yes, Rusty?
Yeah, I agree with Nikki about the flavor, but one of the concerns may be if there's not enough, if there's too much flavor, you may be giving away things from the books that this may be played by people who haven't read the books.
Yeah.
And this could be something that could introduce people into the books and get them to want to actually read these.
I mean, I would play this again.
Yeah.
I would play. I
Totally.
would. I
Like
want,
right now.
I want to see the other character cards, the special decks, the other books, the way this works for the other books, how that changes
Oh,
from
that's right, because this is
book to
Stormfront.
book. That is for Stormfront. So what is it for?
Right.
The other ones. So yeah, and other characters that
There
they
are
have.
how many expansion characters for this? There's a bunch,
Well,
right?
I think there's a couple per box. So there's Carlos Ramirez and Anastasia Lucia. Those are both white cancel. And then
Nice.
Sonia and Molly
With
Carpenter.
2 books, Small Favor and Turncoat. That's
Yep.
Right.
nice.
And then this is Sonia, who's one of his compatriots, right?
Right.
And Molly Carpenter, who's his grasshopper or whatever.
Yes.
Harry's later on. And then you have Thomas Wraith and Waldo Butters, and this is Blood Rights and Deadbeat. And then there's actually a couple other ones in some, I guess, promo packs. There's one with
Just so you can see them in the board.
the dog, Mouse. And
Mouse.
then there's Hank Walker, alias Ra. So there's other stuff. Each of those add stuff. I'm not sure how you get those.
That's cool. There's also a thing called side jobs.
Oh.
These represent like the short stories.
Right.
Yes.
And this is sort of a way of randomizing it. So you would say pull this side job thing and roll dice, and this will tell you how many cases and how many foes and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Oh, that's neat.
So yeah.
So they're not books. It would be something you do instead of Stormfront,
You randomly take one of these 3.
right?
Here, put them up there and see what the differences are amongst them. So yeah, I mean they're a little.
They are different.
They're a little different, and then
Wow.
you'd roll 2 dice, and based on the 2 dice you rolled, you then pull out this many cards because this array is always 12 cards. You'd pull out 12 cards from, I don't know how many of these are, but more than 12, and you could either do that randomly, or you could take the ones you really like or dislike and just add them and then play the game. So there's all kinds of ways you can not be beholden, for example, to a specific book. I can't imagine you would do it maybe, but you could. You could probably mix some books together if you wanted to.
Really? Would
It
you?
might be weirdly balanced. That's what I don't know. I don't know how tuned each of the books are for like the foes versus. I guess you couldn't do that because you couldn't have this cannot thing until Shadowman has solved it. Shadowman's not in the game. that
That would be terrible.
That would really hurt you. I think for our particular game, now that we know sort of what we're doing, I think, well, Nikki's discarding, adding a clue to the case for the longest range. Now that we know that, again, depending on the setup, maybe instead of you discarding to move something closer, we could have discarded to move something further away, like kept that at the end so that when Nikki discarded, we could have added maybe one more there. I mean, there's ways now we know sort of how things can be manipulated. I think there's ways to help. But obviously, again, the weird shuffling aspect of it put us in.
Yeah, but that again, it was a benefit. Didn't do us any huge favors ultimately. But it's interesting that there were 2 infinite range cards in my deck.
Yeah, and man, we had our 2 obstacles. We were the closest, and we were able to get rid of them instantly.
Right.
And we still couldn't do it.
Well, I think part of that was I'm helpful on obstacles, and I had so many obstacle overcome cards in my hand that it reduced my ability to use advantages and attacks.
Right.
And I think I'm heavier, as at least Michael is heavier on
the blessings,
on the advantages and the obstacles rather than fighting and solving.
Right.
So I would definitely be dealing with those things that other people were able to deal with in a better way, and it left me more of a support in getting Fate back into the deck.
Right.
That's interesting.
Even those obstacle cards, even if you had done that and I had discarded mine instead of using it, those were all still only 1 Fate.
Right.
But 1 Fate is better than spending 1 to pass.
Yeah, absolutely. I definitely, I mean, you know, I think all of us are big fans of the books, so it's fun to get into this.
Yeah.
I just feel, because, you know, we played, Rusty wasn't involved in it, but we played the Harry Potter co-op game, and it has more of the flavor.
I would agree. When I was
I liked.
When I was reading the rules for this, I was sort of excited because what I thought might be really neat was the simplicity of this.
Yep.
This sort of Hanabi-like spend stuff, get it back, spend stuff, get it back. This seems really interesting to me, and I like the simplicity of like you just add stuff.
Right.
And when you do
well, and I like that you can't do. I mean, there's some fun things.
But
there.
I think the simplicity of it is also the thing that you feel maybe is missing, which is because it's in a way so streamlined, it didn't have maybe enough flavor in that regard. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I don't know that it necessarily. I mean, again, the cards are there. You've got the Soul Gaze. You've got the Consult with Bob, which is awesome because that's exactly what that would do. You know, I mean, it's great. I know that there's some additional cards in those expansions for some of the characters. Let's see what they are.
There's definitely going to be more complicated stuff too, right? Probably.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, Murphy is Murphy, as in the books. To me, anyway.
This takes 12 hits to defeat the evil hat. When defeated, Harry's player may shout, "I don't do hats!" If he does, Harry draws 1 card. I neglected to mention this at the beginning, though I can't imagine it will happen, but you always have to play Harry Dresden in the game. Okay. So when you choose characters, one of them must always be Harry Dresden.
Okay.
So even if you use expansion cards and sets, you can't. Again, obviously, if you buy the game, you can do whatever you want.
Harry did.
You can do whatever you want, but the rule is that Dresden always has to be in the game.
I thought he did hats too, but maybe he doesn't. How many players again?
1 to 5.
5. Okay, get it.
In the 1-player game, I think you play 3 characters.
Okay.
I didn't read it within depth. I just sort of saw the first part of it. But I could see where you could do that. You're basically just playing against system. No? Not that time?
And I love the tension that comes with the fudge dice.
Especially since, hey, look at that. That's at least 1 plus 1. It's hard. Yeah. These kind of dice are really crazy because you have 66% of being neutral or good, but you also have 33% of bad. And then, of course, the obstacle card made that all worse for us, except in the case Dave was hopeful that it was beneficial for him, which it was.
Hey, here's Mouse's stunt.
What?
It's nice. It's the Temple Dog Warning Bark.
Yeah.
For your stunt, you flip this card over, and it turns another player's stunt card from its used side back to its other side.
Nice.
Hey, that's nice.
It's very mouse-like, too, right?
It is very mouse-like.
It's very cool. And when you discard for Mouse, you can choose 1 player to discard a card. And if that player discards a card, then you can choose another player to draw a card.
I wonder if there's a Mr. card in here anywhere that just doesn't give a crap. Just eats and doesn't give a crap.
Mr. cares.
Does he? I don't know.
A little bit. He cares when Harry comes home and stuff.
Yeah, especially for the food.
I will say the production design is very nice.
Yes.
The dice are really nice. These tokens are really nice and thick.
And the art's fun.
The
you know.
cards, yeah, I like the cards are really cool. This iconography is actually really clear.
Yeah.
Once you sort of know what you're doing, it's
Yeah.
really
all on the left.
yeah.
It's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
agree.
I like that these, the fate, when you get rid of a card, you're gonna get the 5, the 4, the 3, or whatever.
Yes.
You're not just discarding a card for 2 fates.
Right.
I mean, you actually put some thought into, if I discard this 5, should I?
Right.
Or should I discard this 4?
Is everybody
So-
mixed that way?
Sure, because
That's
the
neat.
5 is also
Yeah.
probably one of your more valuable cards, so it
Exactly.
hurts to
Those are
get
two
rid of it.
fives.
Exactly.
see.
So I think that's cool that the fate thing
I do.
is not.
Yeah, so everybody
Well,
has
5
2 4s and 2
random.
5s.
The other thing I love, and I didn't even notice this till you guys told me, I just put these out stunt and talent, but if you actually
Yes.
put them out the way they want to put them
Yeah.
out, they
There is
actually,
a picture.
the artwork actually is completed. Yeah, that's really neat.
Well, it completes the back of your card. See,
But your character card is
See
that
it?
image.
that's the image.
See, I didn't notice that either.
You're just not artsy fartsy.
I'm fartsy. I'm just not artsy.
Well, thanks, Billy and Georgia.
You're welcome, Harry Dresden.